Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking a fascinating lab tour to uncover exactly how scientists measure the microscopic, rapid-fire biological processes that are literally keeping our cells alive right now. Specifically, we're going to be breaking down Dr. Chem's comprehensive experiment on measuring peroxidase activity in biological samples. It's a really elegant piece of science, so let's get right into it.
We're tackling a pretty wild core question here. How do scientists measure the speed of the invisible? I mean, tracking a chemical reaction isn't exactly easy. It requires a series of clever, perfectly calculated laboratory tricks. We're talking about events happening on a molecular scale, in absolute fractions of a second. So how in the world do we actually put a number on something we can't even see?
Well, here's our roadmap for the explainer to figure that out. We'll start with the invisible enzyme defenders, move on to the mechanics of enzyme kinetics, figure out how to make the invisible visible, push the limits of these reactions, and finally wrap up with real-world clinical applications.
Starting right off with Section 1, the invisible enzyme defenders.
We begin our journey down at the microscopic level with the molecular machines acting as our primary cellular defenders, because without them, complex life just wouldn't survive. Look at the sheer complexity of Catalase. It's a massive quaternary protein, essentially a tetramer, made of 4 huge subunits. And each one of these active subunits contains over 500 amino acids, all housing a central iron-containing heme group. The whole intricate structure has one highly specific, absolutely crucial job: breaking down toxic hydrogen peroxide into perfectly safe water and oxygen.
To really grasp why this matters, you have to look at the stakes. Every single day, our bodies naturally produce small amounts of hydrogen peroxide just during normal cellular metabolism. But if we didn't have these enzymes working constantly in the background, we'd suffer a lethal buildup of oxidative damage. Think of peroxidases and catalases as a microscopic rapid response team. They rush in and trigger a disproportionation reaction, which is honestly just a fancy biochemistry term for instantly neutralizing the threat by splitting it apart into harmless water and oxygen.
Moving on to Section 2, Mechanics of Enzyme Kinetics.
Let's look at how these enzymes actually physically interact with their targets, and more importantly, how we can calculate their speed. What we're looking at is a brilliant illustration of the Michaelis-Menten mechanism. It uses that classic Pac-Man model we all kind of know and love. See how the enzyme temporarily binds to a substrate molecule? That forms a distinct intermediate called the enzyme-substrate complex. Essentially, the enzyme lowers the activation energy, breaks the substrate into specific products, and then releases itself completely unchanged, ready to hunt down its next target.
But here's the real challenge for researchers. Tracking disappearing hydrogen peroxide is incredibly difficult. You literally can't see it go away. To solve this, scientists rely on stoichiometry. As a baseline in methodologies like Dr. Chem's experiment, instead of watching the reactant vanish, they measure what's being created. They monitor the increasing pressure of the oxygen gas generated inside a tightly closed flask. Then, using the ideal gas equation, they can convert that pressure directly into a precise concentration measurement. It's a super clever workaround.
Up next is Section 3, Making the Invisible Visible.
Because, as it turns out, gas pressure isn't the only way to measure enzyme activity. We can actually use color to literally see the invisible happen in real time. This brings us to a remarkable chemical indicator called guaiacol, which is the absolute star of Dr. Chem's experimental methodology. When peroxidase acts on hydrogen peroxide, guaiacol steps in as a hydrogen donor. As the reaction chugs along, this completely clear liquid oxidizes into tetraguaiacol, which is a highly visible brownish product. And because the specific brown color absorbs light maximally at exactly 470 nanometers, Dr. Chem's experiment can measure its exact concentration using a spectrophotometer.
Setting up this experiment is just a beautifully elegant process. First, you combine a 10 millimolar hydrogen peroxide substrate with the guaiacol indicator. Then, you introduce your peroxide enzyme into a specific sodium phosphate buffer set to a pH of 5. The absolute second they mix, the clock starts. By recording the absorbance at 470 nanometers every single minute for 10 minutes, you generate this beautiful linear slope of data. It's a fast, highly reliable way to quantitatively track enzyme activity right there at the lab bench.
Now, we can also track these enzymes on polyacrylamide gels using a process called zymography. These side-by-side results are pretty wild. On the left, researchers used a standard phosphate buffer, and you can see the brownish protein bands are really faint. It definitely limits what we can detect. But over on the right, by simply swapping to a 0.1 molar sodium acetate buffer at a pH of 6.0, they unlocked a dramatic improvement in sensitivity. This optimized buffer is a total game changer, allowing researchers to spot peroxidase activity at levels as incredibly low as 0.4 micrograms per well.
Which brings us to Section 4, pushing to the limits. So, what happens when we drastically alter the environment of these finely tuned biological machines? Well, to truly understand how an enzyme works, scientists have to push it to its breaking point. And this is actually a standard part of comprehensively measuring activity in Dr. Chem's experiment. By subjecting the enzyme to environmental extremes right before the assay, like boiling it at 65 degrees Celsius or dropping it into a highly acidic pH 4 environment, we observe physical disruption. The extreme heat completely denatures or unravels that delicate quaternary structure we talked about earlier, which halts the reaction entirely. Cold slows it way down, and shifting the pH simply alters its optimized chemical state.
But temperature and acidity aren't our only tools. Scientists can artificially hit the brakes on these reactions by using chemical inhibitors. For example, adding L-cysteine essentially blocks peroxidase by interacting with it and converting it into a completely different acid altogether. Another really powerful tool in the arsenal is sodium azide, which is a known strong inhibitor of catalase specifically in red blood cells. Studying exactly how these inhibitors work gives researchers crucial data on how these biological engines are regulated in the real world.
And that leads us nicely into Section 5, real-world clinical applications. Let's ground all of this abstract lab work and spectrophotometry in reality. 120 days. That is the exact standard lifespan of a human red blood cell. And because of this highly consistent timeline, measuring the activity of a specific selenoenzyme called glutathione peroxidase inside these cells acts as an incredibly reliable, long-term functional biomarker. Think about it. A quick blood plasma test fluctuates daily and can be pretty unreliable. But looking at the enzyme activity inside a 120-day-old cell, that gives clinicians a deep, remarkably stable look into a patient's long-term nutritional status and overall antioxidant capacity.
The real-world impact of this is perfectly captured by this correlation chart from a randomized supplementation trial. It proves a remarkably strong direct relationship showing an R value of 0.78 between a person's serum selenium levels and their glutathione peroxide activity. Simply put, as a person's dietary selenium intake goes up, we can physically measure a direct increase in the life-saving activity of their cellular defenders. That is a tangible, measurable result of nutrition on our biochemistry.
This delicate, highly measurable balance of enzymes keeping your cells alive is happening millions of times a second inside you. Today, we've seen how brilliant methodologies like Dr. Chem's colorimetric assays and targeted buffers can basically freeze these rapid-fire reactions so we can finally measure the invisible. But honestly, it leaves us with a pretty provocative thought. If our very survival relies on chemical reactions too small to see and way too fast to catch, what other incredible biochemical secrets are happening inside you right now, just waiting for the right experiment to finally reveal them? Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer. We'll see you next time.